Recording live from somewhere. It is the Tissue and the Tape podcast. We are definitely proud and honored to be here on behalf of our families, on behalf of hip hop, on behalf of the culture that we know and we love. Philmatic, what's up with you, man?
You already know what it is, man. Thank God I ain't too cool for the safe belt, man.
Yeah, that's right. Happy to have you here, man.
No doubt, man. But it's not about that right now, man. As we approach Turkey Day, man, got a lot to be thankful for. But one of the things that we always thankful for is quality hip hop music. And when I tell you, the people in the circle, they were hitting us. They was like, yo, it's this dude, man. He got that sound. Shout out to my homie L. He was like, yo, that's Tissue and the Tape right there. It's official Tissue. Shout out to Jim from the War Room. He was like, yo, when y'all gonna get my man on? Right. When I tell you, we built this show about MCs. This is the home of the MC. So when we talk about skill, when we talk about bars, no, fuck that. We talking about the pain, yo. We bringing the pain today. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you, no more talking, a MC's MC. We got my man RJ Payne in the building. What's good, baby?
You already, man. Working, man. Good to be here. I thank y'all for the invitation, man.
No doubt, man. You on with the he holders, man. Let's get it.
Yeah, man. Let's get right into it, man. For those that don't know, for those that are familiar with what you do, man, you do more in 60 seconds than a lot of people,
doing their careers.
Yeah, for real, man. Just with the bars and everything and the lyricism, that's what we're about. So we're honored to have you on here, and we actually just want to really get to know you and just get our listeners and our fan base, just give them an opportunity to just see what your motivation is, what inspires you, and then ultimately, just see what your thought process is, because there's a lot of thoughtfulness that goes into the things that you do, whether it be the videos, whether it be the bars, or just your movement in general. So just start us out, man. Like, currently, where are you on Earth right now? And just tell us how you got there.
Man, my story is crazy. Sometimes I think I should write a book, man. Where do I start? Battle rap. I started in battle rap heavy. Most people are already familiar with me. I'm from Philly in New York, but they know me as Rain Man. You know what I mean? I was that name years ago.
Yes, sir.
I kind of outgrew it. I outgrew it literally. I got to the point where I just was like, I felt like it's kind of corny to have a rap name. You know what I mean? I was like, I just want to be myself. So I took the initials from my first name, my middle name, and my last name, RJ Payne. We went from there. So, I moved down south. I'm trying to make the story brief as possible, but I moved down south probably in 2013. I've been here ever since, man, and I kind of just reprogrammed everything I was doing. Instead of just trying to fit in, I said, let me find my own lane. So I did what we naturally do in Philly and back in New York, man, pick up the camera and just start rapping. Next thing I know, all types of people is reposting, retweeting. It just got crazy, and sum it up to all the way up to now. Shout out to Lord Jamar, K-Slade, DJ Doo-Wop. So many legends, man, done reached out to help me put this full circle, man. So here we are, man. It's a lot to tell, but that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
And that was 60 seconds too. Like you just do it, you do it effortlessly, man. It's nothing to you. See?
Even when he's not trying. 60-second assassin, yo.
All right, Phil, man. Let's just go ahead and just get into the questions, man, because we got so many. So let's just run through them.
Now you said Philly in New York. Now I'm from Philly. What part of I think I know, but tell the people what part of the city you from.
Southwest Philly, majorly. Bartram Village, 57th and Elmwood.
Okay.
And I lived in every single part from 5th and Mifflin to North Philly, you name it, man, anywhere.
North side, let's go. Yeah. And then you said New York. How about in the city? Where was you at?
New York wise, to sum that up, like my life is crazy, man. Like born in Brooklyn, raised in between Long Island, Huntington, Wyandanch, in between there and Philly, 15 years equally. So I was pretty much raised in both places the same amount of years.
Nice. Now, when you say wine dance to a hip hop head, that raises eyebrows right there, man.
18th letter.
Yeah. Okay. Okay,
Right.
like we don't.
That place is crazy, man.
Yeah, we don't know that much about Long Island, but we know that place for sure. So that's
Absolutely.
you're in good company already with that,
Yeah,
man.
man, them places molded me, man. I think that's what made it dope. I think had I been just a Philly MC, I would sound one way, and I think if I was a New York MC, it would come across just one way.
Nice. All right, now, this is my question. Like, this is the first question I said I was going to ask you.
No doubt.
Man, you got a smoke machine rental? Like what? Like how do you be having the smoke so?
It look like the U, like
Yeah.
like with Miami Hurricanes coming out the joint.
Feeling like you about to go tackle somebody on the field, man. Like what type of effects do you have?
My man Tizo, man, that's my engineer down here in the South, man. Literally, man, we just picked up a camera. He'll hold the camera. Next thing you know, he was smoking his I guess you know that electric cigarette shit one day. I don't know if we can curse part of my language.
Oh yeah, do your thing, man.
Cigarette. Yeah. And it came across through the camera, and I seen it, and I was like, "Yo, keep going." Next thing you know, people seen it and was like, "Yo, it looked like y'all got a production," and we like, "Bro, it's just us two and the camera."
Yeah.
So this is really going crazy from just a camera, man.
Nah, it sticks out. Like it's definitely like a cool signature. And people that I put onto the videos, that's one of the first things they said. They're like, "Yo, what's up with the smoke?" I was like, "Yeah, it's like a signature thing now." Like
that's the aura, man.
Yeah, yeah. So that's salute for that, man. If I know, you know, like you said, it's a low production thing for you. Like it's not costing you anything, but it's those little types of nuances, those things stick out to people, and it endears people to you. So salute to you for that.
Yeah, and it started to become that signature, like where people like that first video where they don't see the smoke, they can be pissed. They're like, "Yo, man," they're like,
people been literally like, "Yo, keep the smoke going, keep the smoke going."
Yeah, no doubt. You're gonna see like you should one day you should just do a video without the smoke just to see the reactions you get. They'll be like, "Yo," and I bet you'll see the views different and everything because like that's. I didn't know it was you because I didn't see the smoke.
Yeah.
Like all that, but no, it definitely gives an added flavor.
Already. Yeah, you're right, man. I noticed already. Like if I tweak something to the left or to the right too far, the views change instantly. So it's like I'm learning how to hone in on the audience.
Talk a little bit about that, because like you said, you've been at this for a while, and you said you kind of reprogrammed around 2013, and that really, I mean, when you look at kind of like the internet game, the smartphones and everything, that really was probably like the explosion as far as this era that we're in now. Just talk a little bit about what it took for you to reprogram as an MC, because you know, like it's so difficult, yet it's so easy too nowadays.
So true.
Right. For me, I think it was just a matter when I got down here in the South, I was looking at like, what are these dudes doing different than us back up north? Because back up north, all we quick to say is they don't got no bars. But I'm like, it's something they doing. They getting all this attention. So I started peeping that they was heavy on social media. So I said, let me make sure I get in front of social media. But I don't want to hold up no money phone. I'm not going to hold up no guns. Let me do something that's going to separate me. And I said, what'll separate me more than just rapping? This ain't nobody rapping no more. And literally, man, it went crazy. Just that simple.
Yeah, man. It's a visceral reaction. Like I've seen people. I showed the videos to people, and you could see them holding the phone, and their face is just like, and then they they digesting the bars as you're saying them. It's one of the dopest things I've seen. Like we've been doing this as far as the podcast for over 3 years now. Very few reactions I see like when I play something for somebody or show them something as the one they got on a couple of the videos, man. The best of both, John. That one, because like that one has so much in it, like just because of who it is and everything, and when people heard that one, because it brought back that feeling, and then they was like, you know, anytime you do anything with Jay, you know, you gotta it gotta be A1, or people gonna be like, yo, because you know if
still, I'm gonna give a secret out to y'all, man. Like people don't know, and it's probably gonna sound crazy when I say it, but yo, I be making them joints like an hour before you hear them. Like literally, I'll just whip them up real quick when I get off work.
See, that's not even
And I'll
fair.
call my man and I literally just keep it memorized in my head, and that's it. Like literally, this don't be thought out. This be that day.
Yeah, wow,
man.
That's official.
Thank you. Thank you,
so like, yeah, so talk a little bit about that then. So how do you come up with the I guess the beat? Like, do you just say last days, or do you say like I know these are probably some of your favorite beats, and you know, ones that you probably have touched before, but like how do you come up with that process?
Some of it is a mixture of just my favorites, but then now it's more or less getting to, I just kind of scroll through beats and it's like the first thing that make me want to start spitting, that's what I'm gonna pick. And then now it's evolving to where the fans and the people that supporting are leaving comments, yo, you should try such and such.
Yeah.
And it's been working. Like actually a friend of mine just suggested that I do the last days joint.
Yeah.
And I just did that joint.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we've seen, especially around this time, like the you know, such and such challenge, the So Gone challenge, the this and that challenge, and stuff like that. But I like how you're just kind of just taking it like, yo, this is the RJ Payne challenge. Like, try if you will. Right. But you know, I like that though. It's coming across nice.
I just don't want to be they say real rap is dead, but I think it's just not consistent enough and consistently seen. So I'm just trying to fill that void, man.
Exactly. And it's such important that, you know, MCs with quality bars continue to work and put that out there, because we taught the people so much that be like, yo, that say what you just said, like, you know, hip hop is dead or it's nothing on the radio. I'm like, yo, if you're going to the radio and still expecting to hear bars like it's 95, then you know you're doing it wrong. And that's another reason why we started doing this, you know, so we can make sure that people know who you are, and you know, as almost like a bridge to ears and MCs. So which takes me, I gotta step back a bit, because Big L, for me and Vibe, Big L is extremely important. Extremely important. You know, one of our finest moments. It was the in the house when you hear them, Big L, rest in peace, when they actually said that and all that. We at the Roxy, we were there. You know, when you hear say get the L's up, and it don't mean Cool J either. We was in the house for that. So so you doing that tape, you know how tough it had to be for you to be like, all right, L is L. So anybody that's going to tackle that has to do it right. I have to say 100%. I didn't have the highest expectations. I didn't. I'm gonna just give it 100. When I heard it though, I was like, I was like, yo, I had to step back. I was like, yo, this, because I'm not big on the covers, but yo, the Bonix John is like, oh, like you flip the newer slang in there, and then just like playing the homage, and then having Kid Capri host the John, that was special. So salute to you, and getting the cosign from the family, which is, you know, just paying your respects like that. And it almost, you did two things. One, anybody that cares about bars, they heard it right there. But you pay homage to L, but you also introduced them to, hopefully, to people that never heard them before. True. Which I think was even dope, because you play, like, you would do your version and then play like his version, like, so it was just a dope concept. And then following all the way up to the most recent joint with Sean Price. So I said all that to say, how did you come up with the idea to even start doing those and tackling such an iconic MC like Big L?
You know, it's weird. It all started out as a youngin', man. Like, I actually started out rapping before I got battle rapping or anything on my resume. I would literally rewrite my favorite rappers' rhymes in my own words. Like, that's what I was doing as a kid. So when I got older, it was like, yo, that will always be a dope idea if I did it. So along the way, you know, I would start wearing my hat backwards. People would be like, yo, you look like Big L. And it got to the point, it was just getting super noticeable. So my engineer, my producer, my man P.A. Dre, he had made up a mock cover with Big L, and my picture kind of fused into one. And when I saw it, I kind of bugged out. I was like, yo, that's weird, man. So I posted it, make a long story short. Kid Capri seen it. He was already following what I was doing, and he was just like, look, man, I hosted. We put it together, man. I thought it would just be
That's
something
love.
paying homage. And it went crazy, man. Like every one of these joints we done did so far has got bigger than the last. And they're actually hosted by the families of the people that we're
man.
paying attention to.
Having Sean P's widow host, that was huge. Because she's such a bearer of his legacy and his movement, and you know, she takes extreme pride, as she should, in his work. So for her to co-sign it, I already knew it was going to be official just from the previous joints, but for her to co-sign it, it's like, yo, man, should nobody have no problems.
Nah, man, yo, she's official, man. Like you said, she didn't have to do that, and she kind of watched me before she gave the okay. You know what I'm saying? Like I reached out, and she kind of waited, felt me out, but then once I sent her the records, she was like, let's go, like, let's do this now. And she sent her drops, and it came out crazy, man.
Yeah, definitely. So big shout out to Mrs. Price, man.
Yeah. All right, RJ. So what we like to do, of course, is, you know, get everybody introduced to you, to kind of have a feel for who you are, but we take it a step further. We do a thing where it's called tit for tat. And we want to just throw some rapid fire, free association combinations at you. So you either pick this or you pick that. No middle ground here. You just got to just pick one or the other.
Okay.
So I'm going to start it off and Phil's going to end it. So we're going to start off, man, with the heavy hitters, man. Big or Pop?
Middle ground. And damn, so like I gotta ask one question. So no explanation, just a yes.
No, you can explain, but
you can explain, but it's one or the other.
If you pick one, it's definitely not an indictment on the other one. It's not saying they're whack. It's just for your money. If somebody said, put your money on the table, big or Pop.
I think of it like this. I think of it like a science to it. So I would say if you want to hear them flows and that style, that's Biggie all day. But if you want substance, 9 times out of 10, that's Pop. So I can't really say who's better. It really depends on what side of the bed you wake up on.
That's a good answer too, though. I'll take that. I'll take that. Right. Primo or Pete Rock?
Killing me. Killing me. I think it's kind of the same answer, but like off of just off.
Like if you had to get a beat from one of them. If you had to get a beat from
just
one
off of first thoughts, my first emotion, of course, is Premier. That's just I can't help it.
Yeah. All right. This one's a little bit easier. Midnight Marauders or Low End Theory?
Low End Theory.
Nice. All right, we take it to sports a little bit. Magic Johnson or LeBron James?
Magic Johnson.
All right. Just as far as grubs, breakfast or dinner?
Breakfast.
All right. College football or college basketball?
Basketball.
All right. And then, all right, so if you're out there putting in work, you know, sports-wise, which is more embarrassing, a stiff arm or crossover?
Stiff arm.
All right, you got it, Phil.
All right. You know, you get your laugh on a little bit, and you got to pick one. Dave Chappelle or Chris Rock?
Chappelle.
All right. Your favorite hip-hop year, 1993 or 1996?
90. Ooh, now you're killing me. I had to think about that. 96.
Rakim or Kane?
Oh my God, man. All right, same answer. For a fact, I know if you want the flashiness and the performance, that's Kane. But if you want just the delivery and the bars and the real super MC, that's Ra. So for me, I would have to go for Kane, though, because it's kind of all around with Kane.
Got you. All right, the symphony or scenario?
Scenario for me.
All right. Takeover or Ether?
Oh, Hard. Jay, my favorite, man, but that Ether, man. That's hard.
Okay. All right, the last one. This might be the toughest one out of all the ones you heard.
Okay.
And it's not a slight to either or, but
Okay.
you got to pick one. Big L or Sean Price.
That shit, man. I can't. All right, I'm gonna have to go off of just being real as possible. The MC that affected me the most with my pen is Sean Price.
Okay.
Nice. Okay. Yeah.
Shout out R.I.P. man.
Yeah, I can see that too, man. What we always say about P was that like, and especially when you saw him perform, like especially in the latter years, like when he was really Sean Price, like it would be like pugilism, like. And you would see the guys like in the studio or in the booth, like they would be looking at him like he was like hitting the heavy bag, but like destroying it.
Right.
There's this one clip of him. I think he's on Phil. Is it K-Slay where he's or is it Sway? Yeah. He's there with Knife Wonder, and he does
Sway.
Oh, and he does Barbarian. Yo, Knife Wonder's face when he was looking at that man rhyme, he was looking at and he's literally saw him lay it down, like he saw it so many times, but he just was just looking at him like he was an alien, yo. Like, right. and that's exactly the feeling that we get when we see your videos. To be honest with you, we're looking at that type of lyricism and that type of like effortless, like just like
it's verbal MMA, man.
Yeah, that's exactly that. This and that's what, if you never heard somebody tell you that, as far as like what the true heads are looking for and what we appreciate, right. It's that type of stuff, man. That's why we, gravitate to that type of music and what you're doing, man. So
thank y'all, man.
The fact that you said
no, go ahead.
No, I'm about to say the fact that you said that he influenced your pen the most, it makes sense.
Absolutely, yo.
Yeah.
I think the only thing I can add to that, like I try to call what I do educated ignorance. Like I try to give them the ignorance that they want, the punchlines and all that, but I try to slide a little message in there so the little education is in there, but it's not to the point that they like he's preaching all day.
I think you might have your next instrumental the rock too, man. The ignorant shit with Beans and Jay.
Okay. All right.
I see it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You got the word from me. That's gonna be dropping this week then.
Oh, word.
There you go. Tissue and the Tape exclusive right there, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Let's get it.
So what? I mean, obviously, we know the attention spans of so many these days is super short. Was that the science behind the less than 60 seconds, murder in less than 60 seconds?
Yep, because I kept hearing people was like, "Yo, you nice, but you got to find a way to break it down so people that don't hear bars all day can still dig it." So I said 60 seconds, Instagram. There's nothing better than that. It don't take long. You can log on, you can log off, and it's been working, man. It's actually worked better than anything I've ever used.
Yeah. There's a couple. You have a couple counterparts out there. I want to see if you're familiar with them. Like, are you familiar with man, I don't know his name, but he's a guy that he kind of does the same type of like short freestyles. He gets his hair twisted. He's from Houston.
Oh, I know you talking about.
Yeah.
I remember, dude.
And I pride myself on saying African names because I don't ever want to slight anybody with an African
I pride
name.
myself on letting you say those names. I just be like bull from Houston because I'm not gonna slaughter the name, yo.
I pride myself on trying to like pronounce their names, but shout to him. But we'll add his name or post.
He's still the Greek freak. I mean, I ain't even messing around, yo.
But he has something that's going on that's similar to it too, and I've seen a couple people try it. You guys are probably like the most consistent. Like, it's one thing. It's one thing to throw one out there every now and then, but like you just said just now, Phil mentioned that beat, and you're like, oh yeah, we'll do that this week,
next week.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's
this week,
this week. That's that consistency, that people are fiending for. Because, like you said, like once you put it out, it's like, all right, when's the next one, RJ? When's the next one?
Right. And it's like, yo, tomorrow. Because like now I done got addicted to seeing y'all reactions to it. So it's like, yo, I wake up like, yo, as soon as I get off work, I'm putting in work today.
Right. Yeah, man. It's such a thing because like us being like from that 90s era. So hearing the beats and then just hearing like you can hear passion. Like, and it's one of those things it's like infectious. So you just be like, damn, man, now I gotta go listen to Last Days. Like, when I heard it, yo, I was like, and then I started listening to freestyles of people that rapped on Last Days, and I was like, so it was just one of them things. I'm get down the internet wormhole, so that I heard the Joe Budden joint off Last Days, and I was like, yeah, so because it's just good to hear, you know, bars, for lack of a better term, man, till the prison stop building them, man.
So we have this thing that we call Black Thought syndrome, and to describe it best, what it is we feel like there's somewhat of like a disorder that Black Thought has, because people don't necessarily want to get on joints with him because they either they're insecure or they feel like they're not up to par.
They're not trying to get their ass mopped is what the situation is.
Have you experienced that as far as like when you're lyrical like that, it's tough to kind of get people to collaborate sometimes. Is that true?
Brother, you have no clue. It would be like my favorite MCs I come across, or I meet them and it's like, yo, you're dope. And I'm like, thank you, man, you dope. Let's work. And it's like, you dope. We'll see you later. We ain't really trying to hop on nothing. We'll talk about it, but ain't nobody really trying to work, man. So I just figured out how to feed my own passion, so to speak, every day now. Like, I feel like I don't even care about features no more. Right.
Yeah. And honestly, like, it's not really a thing. Like, I know we were brought up in the era where, features, they gradually became a thing. Like, it used to be where you just used to just get the artists, and then you would get their crew members, and then you would get the label mates. And that's when I think things started to get a little tricky, because the labels would have their own agendas.
Yeah.
And they would be placing somebody that don't even go with somebody just for the look or just for the name.
I don't know when it really started. I guess around like, I want to say like maybe like 95, 96.
It's 95, 96, right around
there. Where it just became like, yo, really what I think it was maybe Wu. And it was just like, even though they were all one crew, the fact that they always had multiple people and so on. So like even like on Raekwon joint, like, I mean, it's starring Ghostface. I mean, you know what I mean? Right. So I think people kind of like, yo, we don't have a Wu-Tang, but we got 10 MCs on our label. Let's throw them all on the album, and try to make it Wu-Tang like. So I kind of think that's where it started, and it just went left.
Went left. It did.
So is there a hotbed of guys down there where you are, like guys
honestly,
working?
It's a different type of hip hop, but I think it's so different that I got my own lane. So I think that's why I feel so free. Like, I literally have no competition. So it's like I get to just paint a picture as crazy as I can think of, and it's working.
No doubt.
The only guy that's really from that state is Yellow Wolf that we know of. Like, that's like blown up, right?
Right, yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, it's other artists out here doing their thing, but like I said, they're so to the left of what I'm doing.
Man, I think crazy. Phil, what was it, Rich Boy?
Yeah,
Rich Boy. Yep.
Yeah. Throw some D's on it, Rich Boy. Yeah.
Okay. Right.
And Yellow Wolf. And Yellow Wolf kind of like, he doing like his Whitey Ford thing. Like, he kind of like he still can rap. But he kind of like doing like the singing thing, like how Everlast did. I fool with him though. But one question like that, are you? I mean, you've been doing the mixtapes and everything. We're in an era where you don't necessarily need a record label. I would tell you to probably stay away from them, in all honesty. But is that something like, if they came to you and it's like, yo, boom, hit, Mr. Payne, here's, a bag, and we want you to 3 verses and 2 hooks, is that something that you would consider, or you want to do it in your own terms?
I mean, more than anything, I want to do it in my own terms. Like I got my own production team, I got my own everything, like my own graphic designers. So it's like, unless they're gonna offer something out this world that I just don't have, I'm gonna stick to what I'm doing.
Nice.
Yeah.
And that's how it should be, man. I wish more, like you see dudes that spend years, like much like what you're doing, building their brand, building their name, and the first time a label throws some money at them, they own part of their name now. Like they signed a 360 deal, and like you would like, that's why like I appreciate so much what Chance is doing, and artists like yourself are doing, to where you're building your brand to where you control your own destiny. So if you decide you still want to do, murder MCs in 60 seconds and put out an album, you could do it without having to clear it with, mountain climbers that play electric guitars.
Right.
Yes.
You're so right, because, and the proof is, for instance, I dropped 7 projects this year outside of the Bird in less than 60 seconds joint. Like I dropped 7, literally 7 joints. And I know for a fact if I was on somebody's label, that would have never happened.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's just building your name, because we live in an era where content is king. So having content and control of your content is even more king. So
right. And I think for the dudes that can really rap, I think that's gonna be my benefit, because a lot of the dudes that can really rap, they can't compete as in the consistency. That's one thing I picked up from the little Yachties and all of these cats. You might not like them, but they dropping a tape every 2 days. They doing something every other day.
Yeah, they're keeping their name known, they're keeping it fresh, and their audience is used to that consumption.
Right.
Since you don't got to get you don't got to walk out your house and go to a store and put down money for the music. It's right there for you. So it's just a different mindset.
Yeah, when it's like you don't go anywhere without your phone nowadays, and the fact that you can be on somebody's phone and have their attention like that is priceless, man. We start to see it. Yeah.
Yo, think about it like this: what you're doing right now, you're in more people's rotation, and just follow me on this. Somebody would literally have to go get Ready to Die or Reasonable Doubt. They would have to download it. They pick up their phone. You're right there on Instagram. Boom. You hit them. Boom. They can rewind it as many times as they want. Shit, it'll rewind itself if you look at it. It'll play over and over. It'll keep looping. Right. But you have to actively go pull up Ready to Die, Reasonable Doubt, all these classic albums. So the access is so much easier. And even though we have our phones and we have access to everything, it's so much easier for somebody who's already on Instagram to go right to the I am RJ Payne, and boom. And the fact that it's 59 seconds, even more of a bonus in this situation, So it's definitely a great marketing tool, and it's quality music at the same time.
Now, are you a fan of other genres of music? Like what other, like besides rap, do you listen to?
It sounds crazy, man, but I'm an old school R&B dude, man. Like I listen to rap, but I like soul. That's my thing.
Yeah,
soul.
Yeah.
That's soul.
Nice.
See vibe?
Yeah.
That's because I always laugh like that's like I like kind of like skip whole genres of music. I'm like hip hop, and then like Teddy Pendergrass. Like it's just like I skip like a whole genres of music, but that's just. So do you draw inspiration from like the soul music? Is that something like you listen to in
crazy? Like
who's one of your favorite artists right now? Like as far as like soul music.
Right now, honestly, I haven't found nothing really new that I'm into. Like, bro, I'm still listening to Music Soul Child first album. I'm still listening to Lauren first album.
Yeah.
Like, that's really what
I just want to sing is that fire.
Yeah.
Right, man. Like, I listen to everything, from down to Crit New's album. Anything
Yeah.
rap, R&B, whatever it is, I know about it, but I'm stuck on what made me love the music.
Gotcha.
You know, the thing about those two, like I've actually been in my neo soul bag a little bit here lately. Like it's timeless, man. Like that's the one thing that you can't really replicate with soul music because of the fact that you know, like a lot of times with rap, sometimes maybe some of the references and some of the metaphors and stuff, they may be they may get a little dated sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't really matter. But with the soul music, that feeling and emotion you get when you listen to it, it's like you're addicted to it. Like you hear some songs, you just like, man, every time this song comes on, makes me feel, you know. So I'm with you on that, man. That's
and
definitely
shout out to our brother DJ Rick G's. I was with him a few weeks ago, and he said something, and I didn't really think about it until he said it. He said for all the great samples and everything, he was like, nobody has ever made the sample better than the original. We were talking about like Funky Worm, for example, which has so many records that sample Funky Worm. He was like, nobody has sampled it and made it better. Where it's like, yeah, I like the sample or remade version better than the original. And I hadn't really thought about it until he said it. But when you go back and listen to those songs, the actual, just the sound, that fullness of it, you can't beat that no matter how much you replay it and run it through any kind of computer or machine. It's just something special, man.
Right. Like, yo, honestly, that would be the only thing I would want a record deal for, or the perks of having a deal so I can have the most soul-studded album ever. Like, I wouldn't even want rap features. I would go for like Kendrick and the Family, Music Soul Child, Jill Scott. It would be that sort of crazy.
Yeah, you know, that would be lots of fire.
Right.
Yeah. Is that your car that you're actually in? Like, I'm just asking questions that people have asked me, like watching the video.
Yo, listen, you know what's crazy? We just try to now, like, whoever got the car, whoever just got the best look. Like, one thing I learned is it's not about what's mine, or it's not about having something that people know is mine. It's just about what's gonna look right, and that's all it's about. Really, I don't care if it's my homie's car, my homie's whatever. We're gonna use it.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
No doubt.
Taking us behind the curtain a little bit for the production. I like that.
Right.
Yeah. Because, like I said,
there's no rule. Like I said, I learned, that's one of the tricks I learned. I think dudes like me that can rap, we get so caught up in how we gonna present it that we take forever to present it. And I just figured out, if you can hold the people's attention, you can feed them every day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I see. I was about to. There's a long going thing that we got about a certain MC that takes way too long to produce quality music. I'm gonna just let that man cook. And
to give the people a hint, he just celebrated his 7th anniversary of being signed to a label that there was a big production about him being signed to. It's been 7 years and no product or anything.
When is ready, vibe? When is ready? No, that is a serious thing, man. And speaking of projects, I mean, you just dropped the Sean Price mixtape. I saw you hinting towards a couple more things. What you got in the works, man?
Man, Murder in Less Than 60 Seconds, that then became a mixtape. Like, so people love the freestyle so much, I just decided to record them and release them as a whole project. So you can expect 30 of those joints on December 8th, hosted by Lord Jamal.
Oh, nice. I was gonna put my name in the hat for the hosting job, but it seemed like you got that covered. So I'm gonna just fall back, man. Shout out to Lord Jamal, man. I don't want to be one of the punks that get beat down. Man. I'm good.
Yo,
shout out to the guy, man.
I definitely I clicked on the link to look at his hoodies because he was talking about look at the hoodies. I was like, yo, I definitely got to support the God on that one. So I'm gonna check.
No doubt.
Yeah, that's official, man. That's it though. We working on that. That dropped December 8th, and we just building up for my first independent release that I'm actually gonna sell. Like, I done released tons of free music. This is my first project I actually sell. It's gonna be called My Beautiful Payne. That'll drop sometime in the new year.
Oh, well, when yo, come back. We can talk about it. We'll get it. We'll do something special with that.
Yeah.
But talk about you, Lord Jamar. I always see like when anytime I click on the post, I always see that he like, you know, how did that connection happen? How did you guys link up?
You won't believe it, man. Like literally just off Instagram, bro. Like yo, from Kid Capri to Lord Jamar to Bernadette Price to K Slade to Doo-Wop to anybody that I've come in contact with, it's not because I personally knew them. It's just because they happened to see what I was doing and just reach out. And
it's incredible,
I think
man.
we was doing the Sean Price tribute. I think we had just reached out to Jamal for a drop. Like, yo, we know you knew P. If you could just, you know, express a few words for the brother. And he said, yeah. So at the same time, I peeped that he had the book challenge going on, where he's challenging people not to hold the money up, but to hold the book up. So I said to myself, I do the murder in less than 60 seconds. Let me prop up my 48 laws of power in the window, and let me drop some bars on a brand Nubian beat. And I tagged him in it, and it went crazy just like that.
Yeah.
I smell what you're cooking, yeah.
Yeah. That's love right there.
Yes, sir.
December 8th, how are we going to be able to acquire the project?
Well, it'll definitely be, like I said, it'll be a free project, especially for the people that's probably not, let's say the people that can't afford the album or whatever. So it'll drop December 8th on Dat Piff exclusively. But
okay.
My official website will be launched this Saturday.
Okay.
All right. Make sure you get us that so we can put it in the show notes.
Yeah, for sure.
No doubt.
Yeah, so
we getting all types of gems tonight, man.
Yeah, man. This
jewels.
Uh-huh.
I couldn't wait to tell. I was like, yo, it's only so many people I want to talk to, but I'll be seeing y'all work, man. Appreciate y'all. So I was like, this is
thank you, man.
Place to drop a word, man.
Nice. One of our friends of the show, someone that's been real helpful in us kind of getting to where we are is Razcast. And I've seen you kind of show love to him. Just talk a little bit about Raz, man, and you know, just how you feel about the lyricist God.
That's one of the nicest MCs on the planet, man.
Talk to him, man.
Waterproof, man. Like Raz has been that guy, man. So another thing, I think we was doing the joint for Prodigy, hosted by my man Big Twin. Rest in peace, P. And same thing. We was kind of reaching out, and he was like, "Yo," he see what we was doing. He sent us the drop, and then it was like, "I'm bugging, like, bro, do you know who you are? Like, I appreciate the drop." Like,
yo, man, Raz, that's how we were, man. And he was our first guest. So he was our first guest, and that's how, like, when we met in school, that's how we met. We was like, "Oh, you like Raz? Oh, you like Raz?"
Yeah.
And then you know, it's on.
Yeah.
But so man, shout out to our big brother Waterproof, man.
Yeah.
A lot of love for that dude, man. And I think I gotta say this. I don't know, when did it become cool to not show respect to the people you look up to, man? I'm not one of them dudes.
Man, listen.
That's gonna be like, yo, I don't get hype, man. I get hype when I get the DM from Jamal. I get hype when Kid Capri hit the like button. I should be. If you're not hype, something wrong, man.
Yo, man, Chuck D liked one of my pictures. I bought his book and he liked the picture, and I screenshot and was like, yo.
Yeah.
Chuck D put a black fist up on my post. I'm with it. I'm keeping that forever. Because I mean,
we gotta cherish them while they're here.
Absolutely. Because then it'll be the same people on the screen bitching with you know, Instagram tears talking about, you know, this was my favorite artist, but then they would front on them, you know, like nah, man. I like when I go to the shows, I'm going to see Payne and Rakim, and I'm gonna be in there. I'm gonna be a fan because like,
you should.
You know what the fuck? If you're not a fan, then you know, just don't be a fan, but don't hate.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Because I'm gonna be a fan. I'm not too much of a man to be a fan. I'm a man all day, but damn it, I like who I like.
Yeah. In this culture, hip hop culture, I mean, really was based off of like knowledge. Like you had to be in the know. So people that were in the know got celebrated and they got treated a certain way because we, like Phil just said, we bonded over Razcast. So we have people in our circle that consider themselves to be hip hop fans or hip hop heads, but it's just different with us too. Like it's just we speak a different language. Yeah, we dissect things differently, and you know we've both listened to Nation. You know, It Takes a Nation probably 555 times, you know, in the past 10 years. And then 10 years before that, we listened to it, you know, another 1,000 times. And then with them, it's like, okay, like they're like, okay, well, I listen to volume 2 every 2 weeks. It's like, well, do you know, like where that comes from or where this comes from? And it's just a difference. So the education and the knowledge of hip hop culture is something that always has kind of been, you know, people like what they like. But I think for us, the people that appreciate bars, we're always going to look, you know, for MCs like you, MCs like Skyzoo, MCs like Torre, you know, MCs like, you know, like that the guys that really, you know,
OC, Master Ace,
that really know the culture, because it comes out, you know, like you can tell,
you can hear it in the bars.
You can hear it in the bars.
Yeah, like when you make references to Lord Jamar or different artists, like on the Best of Both Worlds, when you was like putting all the different joints together, I was like, yo, I can actually, like when we do our playlist, I was like, I can actually make a playlist just off the dudes that you mentioned, the things that you mentioned in that one song. So it's crazy that like not only the thought, but that's not you not, it's not you. I'm not gonna say you weren't trying, but that's just because of your appreciation for the sport of hip hop. It wasn't hard for you to make those references because that shit you really do like. Like I can tell, like as you're spitting it, like that's like you're recalling, you're not recording. You know what I mean? Like the big homie said. But
and like you said too, with that, like with the Lord Jamar, like with the concept for that, like it was easy to put together. It was like, I do the brand new joint, and then like it's like, oh, it just comes natural, man. So trust us, man. We're ramming a little bit, but that's because we
fans, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate this, man.
And we have to support absolutely, man. Yeah. Hip hop is the only genre of music that kills its forefathers, man. They you know, it cannibalizes itself, and like the Rolling Stones is always the example, or Bruce Springsteen is always the example I use. Them dudes still rocking, literally. Like they do they thing. Like I saw Jimmy Fallon, the Tonight Show, and the Rolling Stones was the guest. When I was a young boy and Johnny Carson was hosting the Tonight Show, Rolling Stones was the guest. I mean, so in between that, when we was in high school and Jay Leno was hosting the Tonight Show, guess who the guest was? I mean, so we talking, you know, decades, you know, dudes have literally died and moved on, and multiple hosts have come and same dudes are still rocking. You think you could get Kane on, you know, I've seen Kane rock with the Roots, and this is no diss to them because I'm sure it's a much bigger machine than them, but what do you think would have to happen for Kane to be on the Tonight Show right now?
What would it take for Kane to have to be on the Breakfast Club or one of these? You know what I mean?
A huge bag. That's all.
Yeah, or he had to smack the shit out of somebody or get the shit smacked out of it. It had to be something stupid for them to even talk. You know, it wouldn't be because he's one of the best MCs to ever do it. It would have to be something totally separate from the art form, and that's the part that I don't like. You know, because although it's hip hop, everything is hip hop, you know, but it's levels, for the lack of a better term, you know.
Right.
But we here with you, man, because we appreciate the artistry. We appreciate the MC. This is the home of the MC. I'm gonna start calling us that vibe because, you know, I'll take the dudes that have been on that show. I'll put them against anybody. Like I say that wholeheartedly. I mean, no disrespect to all the other shows. But the dudes that been on it, not the dudes. Let me fix it because Rhapsody was on here. You know, the MCs that have been on with us. You talking about yourself. You're talking about Razzcast. You're talking about OC. You're talking about Torre, Skyzoo, Master Ace. And then that's not even to mention the unsigned artists and the up and coming artists that have mighty pens. You know, shout out to my young homie King Shamps and Del P out the city. So you know, it's we about them bars, man. We about the home of the MC and letting people know that it's music out there for them to listen to. It's quality still being made.
RJ, I got a question for you. Have you heard Del P's music?
Man, I'm super familiar with Del P. I know Del very well.
Okay, all right.
That boy is a problem, man.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, like you guys definitely, you know, like you said, you got Philly roots, and like people just makes people proud to be able to have music like that and say it's from Philly. So, you know,
that's one of my opinions. God willing, if everything go the way it's supposed to go, these are the type of MCs I want to showcase on my music. I don't really want a big old industry feature. I want the dudes that make me hate to move my pen.
Nice.
Yo, man, I'd love to try to make that happen, man.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Anytime. That would be awesome. Y'all make it happen, and it's done. That's simple.
All right. Yeah. Yo, we appreciate you rocking with us. We definitely want to make sure that we keep the invitation open for you to talk to us again. Can you please just reiterate not only just your handles on social media, but also what you have coming up so people know?
Okay. All social media is the same. I am RJ Payne. Same all the way around. I am RJ Payne. December 8th, we hitting y'all with the Murder in Less Than 60 Seconds official mixtape, 30 joints, hosted by Lord Jamal. The album is on the way, My Beautiful Payne. And I just want to take the time to shout out to my whole team, because none of this stuff that you see me doing would be possible without them. So shout out my production team, the Pronoun, my man P.A. Dre, my man Myth, Orlando Benson. Shout out my publicist, Chrissy Mack, and the big OG, Lord Jamal, man, and everybody else helping us do what we doing.
No doubt.
And exclusively, shout out to y'all for having me on the show, man. Because real rap, I'd have been asleep right now, getting ready for rap.
No doubt, man. We ain't gonna hold you no more, man. We gonna let you get focused for the next murder.
No doubt.
Yeah. We appreciate you.
Tomorrow. That's dropping tomorrow, by the way.
Let's go. Let's go. We definitely will be in touch. Like I said, we want to keep that invitation open, and man, salute, man. Thank you. Keep doing what you're doing, brother.
No doubt. I appreciate y'all, brothers. Have a good night, man.
All right, man. You too, man. Thank you. Philmatic.
Already know, man.
Yeah. That was
the MCs.
MC. Respect heat holders, man. You know, we don't say that, and we don't take that lightly, man. We really do have a lot of respect for people that just not only, man, come on, man. Like we've had you mentioned the MCs, but just also just the authors, the artists.
Shout out to Brian Coleman, man.
Yeah.
Kobe Cole, Wendy Day, like the contributors to this culture, man. Is and then even the people that aren't artists that just are so hip hop, like our last guest, Randy Italian Twine, who is featured in the January edition of Essence, which the Italian Twine watches are featured on the Christmas gift guide. So definitely go check them out at italiantwine.com.
Yeah.
I think our code is still in effect. TITT10, get 10% off at Italian Twine. Yeah, man. Big up to them. And big up to you, man. Just we didn't get to we took some time off. We let them eat, but we back at it, man.
Yeah, we got some things cooking up, and we're just excited to be able to bring quality hip hop music and quality hip hop thoughts and concepts to everybody. So salute to everybody that checks us out whenever we post. We're definitely back on it. As far as having a few things in the tuck for you guys, I want to wish everybody a happy and safe Turkey Day. And Philmatic, on that note, take us out with the fader.
Okay, gang. Yo, man, I would be 100% remiss if I didn't once again give a shout out to the boy RJ Payne for rocking with us. quality music at its finest. It's a problem, man. So MCing at its finest, but also, you know, we had a show originally planned before this one that we didn't get to do, so I have to. You already know. Have to give a shout out to my man Rick, man, because you know who we are, man. We are the heat holding, question posing, culture curating, playlist making, MC loving heat holders, and we having a hard time turning this music down. Woo! No, man, Ric Flair 30 for 30, man, was crazy. You got to see the good in the bad and the ugly of being Ric Flair, but all in all, man, it just showed you, even though he's the best to ever do it in his field, I mean, he's still human at the end of the day. So he goes through the same wild shit that, you know, all of us go through. He just does it at such a Ric Flair level that, you know, he got a half a wilt on the books and so much more, man.
He said, I ain't dead yet.
Yo, in the board survived the plane crash. And he literally died, like, you know, about 4 weeks before the 30 for 30 aired. Like literally, you know, induced coma and all that. So glad he's in better health. He was just on SmackDown last week as his daughter Charlotte won the SmackDown Women's Championship. So shout out to the Queen. Yo, one of my goals is the interview Ric Flair, man. I am going to figure out a way to make that happen. Because I just need to check that off the list. That would be the have him respect heat holders. Woo! That would be the greatest thing ever. So I mean, we didn't do the Ric Flair show, but that's something that we will. That's in the tuck. We'll do it at some point. But until then, y'all know what it is, man. Work for the money, live for the love, die for what you believe in. This is Tissue and the Tape. Respect heat holders.